Welcome to the GM Perspective. I'm Kasey Ramey, joined by Ms. Soboleski, Mr. Keim, and Mr. Mennow as we go and review all of the fall sports up until the end of the fall season. How are you guys today? Mr. Mennow's playing with his microphone. Just spilled his coffee cup.
It's not been a great morning, Kasey.
Well, I'd say the same.
You've been running around.
Yeah, anytime I do a podcast, I do a lot of running around.
You were at the NHS meeting?
Yeah. Went till 9:37.
Wow, that was quick.
Yeah, got here by 9:40, and we start now.
Nice. So we had an awesome fall here.
Yeah.
Let's talk about it.
We started with football. We were D10 champs, and then we went to state playoffs and lost 26, 27?
By 1 point.
I think it was 26-27. But, I mean, not that I know much about sports.
Yeah. That's right. We lost by 1 point, went for a field goal in the end. Now that we know that team that Mr. McCormick, Coach McCormick got, and the coaching staff got the most out of that team, I think. And they definitely could be playing this weekend. That game could have gone the other way. Mm-hmm. So the team, they really performed well this year. We talked earlier in the season about the schedule and about
we sat down with them a few different times when they won, before they went to prep, and then an overall of the season as well.
Yeah, we talked about how important that schedule was for keeping them a little battle-tested. But they were definitely right there to win that first state playoff game. And they would have been facing TJ this weekend. So it's good. The coaches are kind of in mourning right now. I think they feel like they could have gone further and should have gone further. But it's what happens. It's highly competitive when you get to that point in the season.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, we were down there live streaming. I think we had almost 20,000 plus people click links on that and click on it at some point through the night, which was awesome. That wouldn't have been possible without the foundation, athletics, and people paying for us to be able to do that stream, our administration. So thanks so much to you guys.
That's another part of the fall, though, is the live stream, right?
Yeah.
That's something else that we've done along with this podcast. This is podcast number 12.
13.
I think 13.
Yeah, we did Polar Plunge last week.
So we've done a lot of podcasts this fall. Check all the other ones out if you haven't checked them out yet. And the live streaming, you guys were incredible. That was an absolute blast to listen to. I mean, you guys were terrific. The commercials, you and I talked about that the other day.
Yeah.
It was so professionally done.
Thanks.
So nice
we
job.
have more coming. We're excited to do some more in basketball season and coming out towards the spring.
Great work with that. So football, looking forward to next year. I talked to Coach McCormick. He's really excited about, he's ready to roll right now, as is his nature. So he's ready to go. And I think obviously he'll take a little bit of time off and then he'll start planning for next season, but already really excited. Play the same schedule again next year. We'll be in reverse on home and aways, and we'll see what happens. And then we'll submit numbers next fall for the next cycle that will not likely, who knows what'll happen, right? So I'm looking at Miss Soboleski on this one. You have any clue how that goes?
You just resubmitted again, and the sports that we did move up in were not by a lot of students, by 15 to 20, so we just have to see.
Sounds good.
The
What's
major
that?
changes they've made there with counting of tech school students and things like that, I don't anticipate changing though. So,
Changing that.
yeah, I don't see them changing, going back
Not
to
going back.
percentages of tech school students. I don't see that changing. So,
Mm-mm.
probably not a lot of change in our enrollment. But we'll see what those cutoff numbers look like.
Yeah. So let's talk volleyball.
Yeah, so the girls definitely, with our new coaches, had a promising season. They won more games this year than they did in the previous 2 years. And the feedback has been positive about the coaches and the improvement that the team is making. So they are also planning on doing a few travel teams with our girls in the off season that runs from December-ish to end of April. So that's good to get our kids playing on those teams. And then our JV coach is actually also going to be involved with our middle school program too and be the 8th grade coach.
That's cool.
And she's going to help with basketball, right?
Yes. And she's already in there in the gym and is excited to be a part of that too.
That's Bella Borelli.
Yes, Bella.
They're doing a lot of things that it takes to build a program, and re-engage excitement, start in the middle school level, get girls excited in the school, build relationships, be in the building. They're doing a great job getting that foundations going for what a successful program leads to in the future. So I'm excited for that.
Yeah.
That was the number one thing I can say from this season that I heard from girls, I heard from parents, I heard from you, is just that energy that they brought to the team and the practices, and the wins and losses didn't matter. I know that they always kind of do, and we've seen teams before that say, like, it doesn't matter if we lose. But then by the end you have drama and problems. And that didn't materialize this year. Like, they really bought into this coaching staff, and those are great points. I think we're finally feeling really, really good about where we are with the volleyball program moving forward.
So then we move into kind of should have happened with football, but cheerleading for football this year, that obviously went well. That's a solid team from what I've seen.
Yeah, and so they're transitioning now. Of course, it's a different team, but game day basketball cheer will be starting, or it has already started up. But yeah, our football cheerleaders supported us the whole way through. They were down there last Friday supporting the team. So we have a new coach there with Brittany Tenen, and she's doing a great job too.
Where did they practice this year?
In the Ox Gym at the
In the
high
Ox
school.
Gym.
Yeah.
Nice. That's good. I didn't, I guess until right now, think too much about
They
the
were
fact
in
that
there
we didn't have
pretty
them there.
consistently, yeah.
That's a great move. Thanks for doing that. That was awesome, because that as we eventually renovate that auditorium, the main lobby, we're not going to want to have practices out there. So good move. So she did a great job, right? Good responses from everyone on cheer.
With good connections with the younger levels too, with the Little Lancers cheer program. So they were here a few times collaborating with the varsity cheerleaders and the middle school cheer, and had them all together for homecoming to cheer, which was nice at our football game.
She's doing the basketball as well?
Yep.
Okay, good. Nice. How about cross country?
Yeah, so both our boys and girls cross country teams won their region titles this year. 2 girls made the state meet, which was Gianna Iaquina and Ella Wazorek. I believe Gianna finished somewhere in the 50s, and Ella was somewhere around 70 or 80 when they were down in Hershey for that. So, they're keeping that rolling, that program doing well. And we have new coaches there too. So that's Brad Wingler, and then also Amy Iaquina is our assistant for that program.
We got to sit down with them on a previous podcast. I can't see behind the TV which number it was, but it was someone up. It's one of them up there.
Yeah, that state run. I think both Gianna and Ella were they neither were thrilled with their finish, which I think is just part of being competitive, but. Obviously, a strong achievement on both their parts, but we've seen how difficult it is to run that state course, and how much pressure is on kids, and it is a tremendous success story for those guys and for the program from this year. And we'll
have both of them back.
Yeah,
Ella's a junior and Gianna's a sophomore.
Yep, awesome. And they're going away. Where are they going this week? Boston.
I'm not sure. That's kind of like a travel program.
Yeah.
It's not, PIAA is already over. Our team is over. So I think that's in addition to something that they're doing outside of the school. Jason, do you know?
Not sure the exact location, I know, but it'll get some additional exposure to the student athletes, give them an opportunity to run against some really elite competition. Be a good opportunity for them, and they're doing that, and then they'll continue right into, I'm sure,
indoor track
season. So,
which is a club sport here, and then those distance runners keep it going into the spring track season too.
Man, they're out there running every day. I told them the other day when they ran past me, I was like, "Hey, I'm right behind you guys. I'll catch up." And then
you're gone.
Yeah, I don't run.
Obviously, I was not going to be running. No. Okay, so let's talk about both soccer programs.
Yeah, so both of our boys and girls had another successful season. Our girls finished 12-7 overall and ended up losing in the D10 semifinals. And so that was the end of their season. Our boys were 16-4. They won their region. They won District 10 AAA championship for the first time in a long time. And then in the first round of the state playoffs, we had to go down to Pittsburgh and play Taylor Alderdice, and they lost a tough one, 1-0, and that goal was scored like within the first 3 minutes of the game, and then it was scoreless the rest of that match. So
The girls, they lost to Prep, right?
yes,
And then Prep ended up going to the state championship
Yes.
game. So that
and that
pretty
was a close
competitive
game too
Yeah.
for them.
Yeah, so they're right there, and they have a lot of returning athletes, right?
Yep.
Boys and girls, both. do.
Yes. Yes.
Good. So both programs will be in pretty good shape.
Yeah, for sure.
Same thing with schedules, just opposites, right?
Yep.
So boys will hopefully have another run at that.
Yeah, and the boys, that's another team that, along with boys golf, that moved up with those enrollment numbers to a higher classification. So it was boys golf, boys soccer, and football.
On the topic of golf, let's hear about that and their season. I know, did they become a school sport this year?
Yeah, so boys and girls girls golf were both added as official sports here at GM. Boys golf finished 4th in their region, and again, that was AAA. Maddie Cairo finished 10th in the region, and Jordan Cannon was 11th in our region or overall. And then Jordan ended up finishing 8th in District 10 too. So, I mean, that's very promising with 2 young underclassmen. Our girls golf was 6th overall in the region, and they're still in AA. Jane Howard finished best with 7th in the region and 12th in District 10. And then Estella Mank, she also was 20th in the region. So they both had great seasons.
Nice.
A lot of success this fall. 2 District 10 championships. Not sure the last time. I know the football District 10 championship was last 18 years ago. And
You almost
I
said that
wanna
like you didn't know that for sure. Like, I think we've talked about that probably.
We looked it up, and then now.
what about soccer?
So I want to say it was 2011.
Okay.
Same thing. I knew when it was happening, and now it's.
Yeah, it's been a while. So we don't get District 10 championships around here that often. They're really, really hard to come by, highly competitive when you get to that level. And so to win 2 of them this fall,
Right.
it's pretty spectacular.
In the front office, the desk is full with the 2 region trophies and the 2 District 10 trophies. So
Nice.
it's great.
Nice. All right, so performing arts.
So that moves into me kind of. I think, and I should have looked this up, I put everyone else's scores and scripts together and didn't look at my own. Band, I think, took 3rd place overall in Class AAA for the LMBA championship.
That's true. Yep, that's accurate.
I'm not that bad. I know what I'm talking about.
Yeah, you were there also.
I
think
mean,
you
I
would
was
know.
there, but
You participated.
Performing.
performing,
Yes.
but a lot of things have happened since that and today.
That's true.
When we do this wrap up. And then this weekend we finished up Mamma Mia, which was a phenomenal show put on the high school stage, and that show was something.
Yeah, that was incredible. We
Yeah.
we really enjoyed it, and they changed. So they made some moves as well for
The football team.
For the football team. So they ended up doing 2 performances on Saturday, and as far as I know, everything went really well.
Yeah.
One fire alarm that went off on the opening night.
Yeah.
And, other than
yeah.
that, everything was
It was
good.
before the show, though.
Yeah.
So no one really was affected by the fire alarm, but no.
And the smoke machine was used every other night,
Yeah.
but it did not set the fire alarm off
No.
any of the nights. Okay, that's good.
That's always a plus.
Yeah.
It was always fun.
All right, so let's look ahead now.
Well, we
So-
had homecoming, which finished up. Dance went well. Game went well. Overall went well there. I think people enjoyed that and went well and safely.
Yeah, we normally, our fall, it feels like we have a little bit of a gap because of the playoff success this year. We don't have the gap that we would normally have between the fall and the winter. So you're probably haven't had as much of a break as you normally would have here, right?
Normally, it was at least a week of just some downtime, and then winter sports started on Friday, which was 11:15, I believe, and so we were overlapped. And so, yeah, just
So that's-
juggling a lot of things right now.
So we made some moves. So the play was the first piece to move because of the football game. And they did 2 shows on Saturday. And then also all of our sports program. What did the sports teams do on Friday?
So we just decided it would be best for practices to end by 4 o'clock so that kids were able to travel down and go to the game. That was the first day of winter sports, so that can be tough, but it seemed to work out fine. Most coaches just made it optional from there, and then our kids were able to get on that
I think it's powerful when you get athletes supporting other athletes.
Mm-hmm.
It makes for a culture that's important.
Yeah.
And then, we're also sharing athletes, so
Yes.
we're having athletes that are on the football team that are, I couldn't imagine those guys playing that game, playing an entire season, finishing Friday night, the feeling that they have on Friday night, and then going to basketball practice on Monday, But I was talking to Coach Schultz about that, and he said, some of the guys, he's willing to give a break if they
Sure.
need to. But a lot of those guys were there shooting. They were ready to roll. They just jumped right in. Mr. Keim, you coached basketball, and you were at McDowell, though, right? So that wasn't quite
We
as...
still had a lot of kids who, a handful of kids every year who played multiple sports. And, yeah, they get their basketball legs pretty quickly. But, it's these kids grow up playing 1,000 sports at the same time, tons of games. And so it's a balance, giving their body a break, but also getting their mind mentally ready for the next season. Every team's got their stuff they're trying to put in, and every moment matters. And so it's a transition, but kids usually buy in. You give them the mental reps maybe rather than the physical reps early, and you go from there.
You feel like football players were in physical shape to play basketball?
It's a different shape for sure. The football players always felt like the endurance level, the consistent running, was a growing pain for them. Always those first few practices, the legs felt a little jelly. But
Yeah,
depends
football's
on-
those short bursts, quick bursts, and then break and burst and break.
Definitely.
And basketball is go.
Yep. Style of play matters too. You get teams that play fast, you get teams that slow it down a little bit more, so all that kind of plays into. But our football team plays fast, so that's kind of a transition that's probably easier for them transitioning to basketball because of how fast our football team's playing. That impact, I bet, is good.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, we do play very fast in basketball as well.
Definitely.
So it'll be a little bit of an adjustment. But yeah, we share people, and we're not a giant school, so we have athletes and student athletes and performers and everybody doing the same thing.
And
So when
on the topic of sharing people, before we go into our winter sports, we have to thank the foundation and all the equipment that they help us and the money that they share with our district. Not only the podcast, streaming, performing arts, and anything else in between that people need. So this production wouldn't be possible without the support of the Gerald Aggers Fund, which is the fund that donated the podcast equipment to this room. And if you're looking to get involved or donate, it'll be the GM Foundation board at generalmclane.org. On the topic of the GM Foundation, coming up on December 7th is their big GM Holiday Arts Fair. And there's some surprise things coming from the GM perspective at that Holiday Arts Fair.
you don't want to reveal that?
No, because I don't know that we have the details down yet. So I'm going to keep it as a surprise at the moment. And
Sounds good.
because I know we'll do something, but I just don't know what yet.
Yeah, and just the overall vibe as we put fall away now. It's been a good fall. I feel like we've had a really good vibe in the building. Mr. Keim, he primarily handles disciplinary consequences, although we do a lot of that together. And you maybe you could speak to that a little bit too. Not that we base it kind of drives the building, right? A little bit, at least the vibe on our end.
Yeah, it's been a really good fall. That the success of students when they're successful outside of school, when good things are happening in our community and our school, with our teams and our performing arts, good things happen in our school too. So it's a positive transition for sure. Makes an impact.
Yeah, for sure. It felt like a really good fall. It also is going to feel really good to hit the Thanksgiving break. We know that we're building up to that right now. As Kasey said, I spilled my coffee. I lost my phone this morning.
Do we know where it is?
My phone? No, it's gone.
Didn't we communicate this morning?
Yeah, but I used my computer.
Speaking of the coffee, it was nice to have you left the rag in the photo. Nice test for the podcast.
Well,
Beautiful
it's
background bank you put together. And, rag.
I dropped the white flag, and gave up here this morning. So that's it.
Yeah, good topic.
Yeah, I think it looks good there, though, don't you? We'll have to ask Miss Benke.
I think I'd say we might want to somehow go in and not allow her to see any of this podcast, because she will probably flip out if she heard about a rag being in with her beautiful backdrop that she put together here.
Yeah, it looks
I
nice.
do not see a rag. I don't know what you're talking about.
Nope, it's gone.
Okay.
I do see that coffee spill, though.
Yeah, well,
Cut the feet.
It is. Yeah, you can see it looks good. It is coffee, by the way. It is coffee.
coffee.
I mean, the morning hasn't been that bad. It's coffee.
Yeah.
All right.
Well, I guess we move into getting ready for the winter, and then I think we have about 10 minutes left before that time.
That's right. Okay, so let's look ahead of the winter. Miss Soboleski, what do you got for us?
So practices obviously are just getting started this week. Scrimmages start Saturday. Every team is scrimmaging Saturday. So our boys basketball is, if I'm remembering correctly off the top of my head, going to Titusville. I could be wrong on that one, but they're away. Our girls basketball is home scrimmage against Cochranton and Northwestern. Junior high boys, they're scrimmaging Westlake on Saturday morning. And then our wrestling programs are doing a joint practice scrimmage with McDowell and Titusville. So we are rolling. And then next week we'll continue with scrimmages, and then games and matches will be starting next weekend.
First game on 29th of October or November already?
Actually, let me take that back because that's still Thanksgiving weekend. So actually our first basketball game is Monday the 2nd, when we don't have school. We have a girls basketball game.
Okay.
That's the first
I
competition.
do think there's some games. I think the official start date is though in November, which is I can't ever remember it being.
I can't remember off the top of my head, but it's got to be 10 days from the 15th.
Yeah. So.
Yeah.
November. Which is crazy.
I always felt like basketball was a mid-December, or the first week of December, 10 like 12-10, somewhere in there was the first game, I felt like.
Yeah, don't hold me to the details. I know they moved up a week. And
When they moved fall up a week,
They moved up a week, and then there was, I think this is the year, there was a conflict maybe with the end of the season in the championships, maybe with the Giant Center or something, so they moved up another few days. So it's early. I mean, I think there are some teams, I think the first games of basketball season are, and all sports seasons, is probably Friday the 29th, would that be, or somewhere in there, 30th?
Yeah, because I feel like
it's early.
we were going to do a tip-off, and we decided against it, or our tip-off was supposed to be that week, and then they moved it to the 6th and the 7th, and are still calling it a tip-off.
Yeah.
So we'll be hitting basketball here pretty soon. And
Podcasts are coming for all those. I mean, our boards, this is the last one on our board, and then it'll get erased, and then we'll fill it back up for the next season.
We'll do a whole winter session we'll have every one of these sports teams in here, hopefully coaches and some players.
Yeah.
Right, for each sports team.
First match is Tuesday the 4th at Prep. Wednesday the 4th at Prep. The 2nd is Monday.
Boys are home against the year, I think, on the 3rd.
The boys,
Basketball.
I can't remember theirs.
I had all these schedules printed out, but not here. Not
And the
with me.
Unified Bocce schedule just got finished, tentatively finished yesterday. So we have 2 home matches for that team. One's in January, one's at the beginning of February. And those are in our home gym at 3:30, they're pretty fun to watch.
Yeah, those are fun. We also changed schedules with basketball, right, and with wrestling. We're in different regions and things like that.
No.
Are we the same?
Oh, well, the regions changed, but as far
Okay.
as our classification, that did not change. So yeah, since I've been here, we did not wrestle prep, and that was an addition. And the boys basketball region has changed significantly too, but I don't have it right in front of me.
Yeah, it changed, and we'll focus on those sports individually as we
Yeah.
get to them. Swimming and diving, they are off and running as well, right? They have practices still
At Macomb.
At Macomb.
And they allow us, of the home meets we're given, we do, just because of how it conflicts with Edinburgh's schedule and when the pool's available, we have 2 to 3 home meets at the beginning of the season, and then they allow us to do one at the end for our senior night. Our senior night's actually against Northeast at home in February. So
Very nice.
That's good.
We move back into, I know there's concert bands and vocal jazz and holiday concerts coming up and through. Couldn't tell you when those dates are.
Yeah, we'll try to focus on each of these things as we get into them. But now in the winter season, we have pre-holiday stuff. We will have a bunch of concert band. Last year we did them combined. We did the band and the chorus together.
Doing again. I don't know if.
And we
the
did middle school with it.
that was
Yeah.
yeah.
It's tough to do that. I mean, for parking and for just the availability. I think they had to do it in sessions, right? Send a group through. So that'll be coming too. Look for that. We will have our senior citizens luncheon coming up as well.
What's the date for that?
That is December sometime. So
Okay.
we'll do something with that one as well. I'm going to say like December 10th,
Okay.
somewhere in there. Stash for Cash. We're going to
big
we're going
one.
to focus on that coming
That's
up
coming
here pretty
up,
soon.
yep.
We'll do a whole podcast on that. And
If you don't know what Stash for Cash is, it's where we raise money in the school to provide money and gifts to families in the General McLane School District. So all the money raised stays right inside the General McLane School District, and it'll be handed out before they go to Christmas break.
Yeah, we actually have kids going out today to do some more fundraising.
Mm-hmm.
So last year we had quite a bit. I think
It's like $3,500.
Yeah, exactly. And so hopefully we have some of that, and we'll be able to take kids on shopping sprees and and let them get what they need. So we'll be doing that pretty soon. And I know you've already done a podcast on the Polar Plunge.
Yep,
We'll be doing Polar Plunge.
Coming up this Friday. Mr. Keim just signed up.
I know I need to get in there and sign up. Obviously, we're going to do it, but you jumping in?
I guess I am.
We did it last year. We have a great picture from last
It's gonna be
year.
cold on Friday. I
But
might stay
man, it's
dry.
gonna be cold.
I might stay dry this year.
I mean, it rained last year. It was wet and cold last year.
I know that was so much colder than I thought it was going to be last year.
Yeah.
It was shocking.
It was shockingly cold.
Somebody's got to be dry for the safety of everybody else. So I think I could take.
You didn't even go
Yeah.
the whole way in
I
last year,
did, but it's
Jason.
I think we have that under. From what I've heard, is we have that all taken care of. The safety aspect. We just need you to jump in the water.
Disagree. It's always good to have somebody on the ready. Another layer.
Yeah,
That sounds like excuses to get out of it.
we're going in, man. Just got to do it.
Is it a race to the buoy again or no?
We could do that. My hips really bothering me lately. Spilled
It's a
my
nice bath.
coffee, huh?
It's a nice
Yeah, it's
bath.
good treatment.
Good for you.
Yeah,
Okay.
it is kind of good, but it is very, very shocking.
Yeah, very shocking.
Anyway, we'll report back a little bit on that in our Stash for Cash.
Yeah, that'll be
as well.
coming up. Alrighty, well, for the GM perspective, have a happy Thanksgiving and holiday season up until we come back to talk about Stash for Cash. Thank you to the foundation. Thank you to anyone who's helped with fall sports this year. Thank you to Isaac Pedcash and Mark for helping us stream, and other students that have involved with that. Thank you to Ms. Soboleski for all the work that she puts into the schedules and making sure places and spaces are available. Thank you to Mr. Keim and Mr. Mennow for your being great administrators and helping us through all of this. For the GM perspective,
Hold on one second. You got to thank all the coaches as well, and all the
Yes.
student athletes,
coaches,
and
student
all the performers.
performers, families that help with those coming to
Yep.
support our community, for supporting all of our school activities, whether it's from podcasts to performing arts to sports to anything else in between. They're always there
Yep.
For-
And Miss Benke for coordinating a lot of the sports stuff, right?
coordinating and building design and room design.
Yeah, and painting stuff. Except I don't know why she put that rag on the guy. That was a little bit.
Oh boy.
I'll have to talk to her about that.
Alrighty. Well, make it a great week and spread kindness when you can.